So unfortunately Flash is shutting down at the end of the year, but there are still many amazing Flash games out there with an interesting speedrun history behind them. And this video is going to look at one of the coolest, at least in my opinion, which of course is the only one that matters, Flash speedruns, Exit Path. Released on May 27, 2010, this 2D platform was built for speedrunning. It features 30 single-player levels with a unique speed mechanic called flow, somewhat broken game mechanics, and an in-game timer down to the 100th of a second. It also has an online leaderboard and multiplayer. Unfortunately, hackers got a hold of the times on these leaderboards, and since I'm told a time of 0 minutes and 0 seconds is actually impossible, it made it hard to tell what times were legitimate. Here's a quick overview of the game mechanics. You're only supposed to have one jump in this game, however there are multiple ways to do a double jump. The easiest way is to simply hold right and jump over a block. When the character has a running animation, you can jump again. The far more difficult way to get a double jump is by doing a wall jump. This can be achieved by flowing roughly 2.5 blocks away from a wall and jumping into it. It can be done without standing 2.5 blocks away, but it's more inconsistent. The flow mechanic is what makes this game so much fun. When running in either direction, you build up flow. At a certain point, you can use the flow for a speedy speed boost. Not the best adjective there. But anyway, players quickly found out that instead of using the flow all at once by holding down the space or shift button, you can simply tap it to get almost the same effect. This keeps most of your flow and allows you to hold onto it for much longer. If you stop running or hit a wall, you lose almost all of your flow immediately. To prevent this, players need to flow at the perfect time when turning around or bonking into a wall, because you can't lose flow faster than when you are using it. Again, the flow allows players to do wall jumps, leading to access to areas you aren't supposed to be able to reach. This makes it imperative to keep your flow throughout the levels for many of the shortcuts, but lucky for us, the flow does continue throughout each level. Back in 2010, speedrun.com didn't even exist yet, and since the leaderboard was sketchy, it was hard to tell what the actual world record was. There was a forum on armorgames.com where many of the players discussed the game and their times, but sadly most people did not record their runs because recording software was worse back then and caused the game to lag. Which is great because everyone knows speedrunning and lag paired together oh so well. So for the purposes of this video, we're only going to look at the recorded runs. The first recorded speedrun of Exit Path was on June 1st, 2010, just 4 days after the game was released, with a time of 6:26.27 by Jake7. But this run was so early on, it was full of mistakes, so we'll skip ahead to the next run, where the time was lowered down to 4 minutes and 4 seconds, a week later by Lawyer Dog. This was a solid run with just a few mistakes, but he did play many things quite safe. He used the easy double jump mechanic, but didn't seem to know about abusing the flow by quickly tapping it. There are only a couple of shortcuts, such as in level 26 when he uses spring and flow to go over the saws, and also using the spring in 27 to get above some of the obstacles and go straight to the teleporter. The next record was set on August 12, 2010 by BazTan64, with the first sub 4 minute time of 3:48.40. Although at the start of the video it says his best time was 3:45, sadly there's no video of that run. The video records were probably much slower than what the actual record was at the time, but without video it's hard to know if they used other exploits such as the pause glitch, which is a glitch where the in-game timer pauses as well as the player when you click pause, but the cycles in the game like the axes and spikes continue to move. This glitch makes some of the levels such as 23 and 24 easier and potentially faster. BazTan did not use the pause glitch, but instead improved upon the record by abusing the rapid flow throughout most of the levels. BazTan's record stood for surprisingly long, and wasn't broken until BXCR Racers came along on November 11, 2010 with a time of 3:37.77, which he beat the next day with a 3:31.60, and that's this video. This run showed new strats and understanding of flow mechanics with a nice swerve on level 9 to get flow faster after the teleporter, and preserving it throughout most of the level 14 by using it against walls. Also, a new shortcut on level 10 was found where they double jump to the left at the start and then get on top and flow over everything. In the end, there are still many places he didn't use flow, but it was a clean run and still shaved a good chunk off the previous time. This record stood for several months, but then was absolutely obliterated by Angel of Time on May 27, 2011, exactly a year after the game came out. His time? 2:56.03, becoming the first person with a video to break the 3-minute barrier. Then, the very next day, he beat his time again with a 2:47.67. This run showed the full potential of saving flow throughout each level, perfectly using as little as possible yet still speeding through each level. This run also showcased a myriad of new strategies, in level 9 with the flow wall jump, level 12 using flow off the spring, level 14 by using a flow double jump to go over the top, in level 27 another flow double wall jump, a huge skip in level 29, and using flow in level 30. His only mistakes were in levels 8 and 10, where he accidentally hit the spring in 8 and died at the top in level 10. Unfortunately, this run did use the pause glitch in level 24, but pause glitch is not technically banned on the rules of speedrun.com, although maybe it should be, I don't know, it could be up to discussion. This brings us to the current world record, achieved by FaithPath with a time of 226.53 in June-ish of 2011. This run is practically flawless. It uses even more new strats, using flow to go over the saws in level 6, using flow to go under the laser and double jump over a wall in level 10, a faster version of level 12, a faster double jump over 14, conserving flow in 15, a faster and crazier wall jump in 24, and a faster cycle in 28. This run is executionally perfect. However, there were strats he didn't use, and since this run, plenty of new strategies have been discovered, for example in levels 8, 10, 23, and 28. This world record is nearly 10 years old at this point. With all the new strategies that could potentially be implemented, why hasn't this record been broken? Well, this game came out a few years too early to latch onto the speedrunning scene. Almost none of the serious single-player runners from the past ever came back to the game, and this game has largely been under the radar, despite my annoying efforts to get people to run this game. There's clearly potential to get a faster time here, but as of right now, nobody is seriously running this game. Or is there? And that brings me to the final reason why I made this video, to promote myself, of course. I'll be attempting to break this world record over at my Twitch, link in the description. Want to watch me lose my mind? Me too. It should be fun, and thanks for watching.